Greetings, New Zealand naturopath Eric Bakker, author of Candida Crusher, formulator of the CanXida range of supplements. Thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to talk about die-off. Are you experiencing die-off, or what we call a Herxheimer reaction, or are you experiencing aggravation? Let's just explain a little bit. I'm going to read some out of my book, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation alongside. Many people get confused when they feel worse as they start a Candida treatment, or if they push harder. They immediately say, I'm getting die-off. I'm getting die-off. That's what I read online. That's what it is. Can't be anything else. Well, let me explain. There are many different types of aggravations a person may experience who comes to seek help of a healthcare professional. Some people come in with one or several pharmaceutical drug-induced side effects, particularly after an antibiotic. Others experience reactions when they stop taking drugs or change brands of drugs or supplements. Some people experience strong reactions when they take a supplement, or cut the dosage back, or switch to another supplement, or combine two dietary supplements together. Many people can potentially develop an aggravation at the beginning of natural medicine treatment, and this can be quite discouraging for some people. Those who are used to conventional Western medical treatment find the concept of feeling worse before you feel better a bit disturbing, and some find it even completely wacky and having the woo-woo factor, like being really stupid, Particularly those who strongly adhere to the tenets of modern medicine. Modern medicine believes that a diagnosis must first be made before treatment, and then the treatment is usually in the form of a drug that supposedly cures the complaint, by eradicating the symptom. What a load of crap! You can't cure a frigging complaint by getting rid of a symptom, any more than you can cure serious bankruptcy or money problems by giving a credit card to someone. You'd have to be nuts in the head to think about that. So getting rid of a symptom does not equate to curing a disease. Have a look at the World Health Organization's definition of what real health means. It doesn't mean an absence of symptoms. It means feeling totally flaming awesome, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, structurally, on many different levels, having amazing health. That, to me, is really good health. Not just, oh, my headache's gone, I must be really good health. That's not good health at all. So Western medicine's idea of what good health means is a little bit different from what people like me believe the concept of good health really means. Aggravations can come about for many different reasons, and here are 6 examples of common reactions I see with patients. Number 1, drug side effects that we call iatrogenic disease. Number 2, coming off any medications or detoxing from pharmaceutical drugs. It also means coming off any dietary supplements or increasing dosages or swapping brands, as I mentioned. Number 3, a change in diet after commencing treatment. Very common, very common. If you make dietary changes, it's not die-off at all. And many people have this that contact me. Oh, I'm getting terrible die-off. What's wrong with me? Oh, by the way, I've stopped drinking all alcohol. I don't drink caffeine anymore. I've gone anti-gluten, anti-this, anti-this, anti-that, and I feel like crap. What's wrong with me? It must be die-off. No, it's not die-off. It's because you made way too many changes way too quick. It's not a good thing to do. All right? If you first start an exercise program and you go to a gym, would you spend 4 hours in the gym doing 300 different exercises, and then 2 days later, oh my God, I'm so sore. Why am I so sore? It shouldn't be like this. I only spent 4 hours in the gym the other day. I should have no pain in my body. Well, if you think about it, it's pretty logical, isn't it? If you're going to make any kind of change, particularly when you get to your 40s or 50s or 60s, you need to do it a little bit more slowly than if you're a teenager. All right? So when you're 15 or 20, going into a gym is an entirely different experience when you're going into a gym when you're 40 or 50 like me. When you're going through a diet change at 40 or 50, it's an entirely different experience than when you're making a diet change when you're a young kid. Why is that? Well, there are a lot of reasons why that is. And one of the primary reasons, I believe, is because our organs are in a totally different state of health and aging as we get older. We tend to have different stresses that affect us. We've got different kinds of bacteria in our gut. Our enzymes don't work quite as well. I believe our stomach and pancreas and small intestine function slowly will go down as we get older. It's much more perky and more active and has much more power, I believe, when we're younger to help us digest food quicker. As we age, that all changes. So you need to take that into account, okay? It's very important to do that. We know, if you have a look at some of the research done in the States, for example, the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta in Georgia, they'll tell you that your immune function declines between 1 to 3% per year beyond 40. Okay, that's just by default. Your kidneys age, your liver ages, everything ages. So you need to take that into account. Number 4, I think we already mentioned, combining several different treatments, drugs, supplements at the same time. Number 5, improperly combining drugs and natural medicines at the same time, very common. Number 6, cleansing reactions of the body after commencing natural medicine treatment. Oftentimes this will be drug residues clearing from the body. So the liver and kidneys in particular have very powerful detoxification systems. So as soon as you start drinking more juice or more water or taking some vitamins or minerals like B vitamins or magnesium, they will upregulate cleansing responses. And that can make you feel awful. You can feel tired and have a bad headache and feel washed out, have sore muscles, bad breath, coated tongue, bowel change, farting like a horse, bloating. All these things can occur just by taking some dietary supplements. Are you killing Candida? Is the Candida dying and making you sick? No, it is not the Candida. All right? It is an upregulation. In my experience, the most common reason why people feel bad when they start treatment is because the body is finally starting to cleanse. Okay? I wrote about this extensively in my book. If you've got a house that's dirty internally, now we all know that we should do regular cleaning. My wife's always vacuuming the room. It drives me nuts sometimes. I'm trying to work and the machine's going, and so it's important to keep rooms clean. But we never clean our inside of our body. So when we finally clean the inside of our body, dust starts coming up. When you think about it, theoretically, dust will come up in the air. Dirt will start moving around. We'll start coughing with dust. So internally, our body is getting all that crap moving into the bloodstream. And that is affecting our cells. And that's making us feel bad. So it makes sense when you do any kind of internal change for you to feel bad. All right? You may notice I've not mentioned the word die-off reaction. That is, Candida yeast dying off in the body due to effective Candida treatment. In my experience, many people incorrectly perceive aggravations after commencement of yeast infection treatment as die-off, and it's not really die-off. I've found that these aggravations are often due to a combination of several factors and cannot be blamed purely on die-off. Many diseases often get somewhat worse with effective treatment for many reasons, as I've outlined before. Unfortunately, we live in an age that seems to be obsessed with speed. Everything has to happen now. It seems as if we can't seem to wait until tomorrow for anything. As technology increases and everything speeds up, so do the expectations of healing our bodies. As a result, we expect a quick fix, and conventional medicine certainly comes up trumps here. It gets rid of symptoms, more likely suppresses them. So the disease goes somewhere else and gets buried deep inside our body. Do you have a rash on your skin? Take this antifungal cream. It will go deeper when you apply that cream and will not be cured by any means, but will temporarily disappear, which is a cure according to the dermatologist or the skin specialist. Is it any wonder we get aggravations once we actually stop these kind of suppressive treatments and all these hidden and buried symptoms rise to the surface of the body? Drugs taken even many years ago will leave residues which can remain deeply buried inside your body, and these toxins can and will resurface at inconvenient times. And they'll often resurface when you try and improve your health by natural means. A die-off reaction is not necessarily what you're experiencing. So how do you know to distinguish between a die-off reaction and an aggravation? Well, a true die-off reaction is seriously powerful and debilitating. I have seen serious die-off reactions in the clinic to the point where the patient was put in ER in the emergency room and put in a hospital bed for a week. It can rarely happen to that extreme, like an anaphylactic kind of a shock. But a true die-off reaction is not that hard to pick from a disease aggravation. And the first thing I will look for generally is how severe the Candida is in the patient's body initially. If they particularly show a very, very high Candida count on culture in the stool test, like a 3+, this is why I like stool testing, by the way. I totally discourage those people to do a very strong, powerful anti-Candida treatment up front. Now you can understand why I really like stool testing. When a patient comes in with a low count of Candida, or no culture, but we find dead yeast in the body, excreted in the stool, we can go a bit harder. If we find a high count of Candida, we have to come in with low treatment. If we come in too hard with all guns blazing, that is the person who's going to get seriously bad die-off. All right. So if you do experience like serious reaction when you start a very powerful treatment, it means that you had very high Candida often to start with. All right. Especially if you've got major vaginal thrush or major jock itch, or you've got really bad toenail fungus or athlete's foot. If you've got huge amounts of bloating and gas and strong sugar cravings, if you've got the very powerful Candida symptoms, in a very high intensity, there's a high chance that when you do then counter that with a very powerful treatment instead of a mild treatment, you'll experience die-off. All right. Now you can understand the difference. So if you can really relate, if you've done my yeast infection quiz, yeastinfection.org, and you can strongly relate to Candida, you feel you've got these symptoms in high intensity, then you'd have to be crazy to counter that with a very powerful treatment. It's not a good idea. Strong force with strong force opposing results in massive aggravation. All right, not a good idea. Have a think about that. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, please, and make sure you do my quiz, and check out my dietary supplements if you like at CanXida.com. Thanks for tuning in.